you all are having an amazing day. Today, we are going to be working on our little observation build once again. Now, because we're going to be focusing mainly on the build itself, we might actually have to go look for some sand as well, because I don't think we have a whole lot of sand, and we're going to need a fair chunk of glass. How much sand do we have? Oh, we have a lot more sand than I thought. Still wouldn't hurt, but it's not a necessity. I might still go looking for it, though. Depends on how far along we get with the build and if we're waiting for glass to smelt. Speaking of which, I should probably put some glass in furnaces just so we don't have to wait too long. How much are we going to need? For now, start with that much and it should be fine. Maybe. We'll see. And I also forgot to check on the villagers before I hopped off last time. So I do want to check on the villagers as well. Because I know there's... Why do I keep closing that? It's not like it's not like anything's gonna actually fall down there unless something spawns up here. And we have more bricks. I mean, I'll take it. I just wasn't expecting it. Let's put some sand in here. And I'm fairly certain if we... Whoa. If we go back downstairs, we have at least 2 more nether brick just lying around. I mean, if we don't, then we're just gonna have some lying around, but... I think we have enough nether brick at the moment. Potentially. If we need more, we'll make more, but we only have 46 on us right now, and we have used very little. Because I don't want it to be entirely slightly purple. But I remember last time we left off, I wanted to sleep on what the outside looked like. And the outside's alright. I like the inside better, so I think I'm going to focus on finishing this part and then fixing the outside. Just due to the fact that something is still off and I can't quite put my finger on it. But before I forget, I'm going to check on those villagers, because if I go to the build, I will forget. So let's go ahead and check on the villagers. Don't mind me. Just gonna hop on over. Because I keep hearing librarians working and everything. It's like, huh. I wonder. Hi, everyone. There's actually a fair chunk of you. I mean, Frostwalker's not bad. I don't grow beetroot. Do 2 of you sell buy beetroot? Ooh, we have a potato and carrots one. It's not too terrible, I don't think. Where's that gonna bring me? You know what? Worst comes to worst. This brings me nowhere. Oh, right. This still should be open. Hi. Alright. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and... We have a little bit of blackstone, a little bit of stairs. We're gonna need slabs. Of course I didn't put this closer. I mean, it's not too far away, but I still kind of want it closer. But it'll be fine for now. I say that, I'm then gonna end up moving it. Alright. I wasn't too upset with how he did the stair over there. And on this side, it's not as curved. How am I going to do this? That's my fortune. Alright. I know that we're showing a bit of stone over here, but I want to make sure that I have the actual arch shape. And I'll mess with all the tiny details later. Actually, you know what? Because on top of this, there's actually going to be a walkway. What should the top walkway be? I think I was going to make it out of the basalt and cobbled deep slate. And just to save myself some trouble, I'm going to move this now. I'm going to want, I think, flat out cobbled. Because if it's flat out cobbled, it won't appear darker than the basalt and smooth basalt. Because I know technically it's the same color, but it is darker just due to the texturing. Or at least that's what it feels like. If it's right there, we can have it a little bit higher than the actual arch. So we can change the floor. And that part's going to be covered, so it'll be fine. I do, however, want to keep an eye on the time. And I failed that. It's getting dark. I would like to sleep before I actually get up onto a ledge. There we go. Lovely. How far out do I want to make this? Because I want to make sure that the center is open. And I also want to make sure that this is actually going to be walkable. I remember discussing a little bit that we could make the top layer kind of go out a bit further, which we might legitimately have to do just in order to actually have a walkway that isn't 1 block wide. Damn. There we go. If it's just like this, going all the way around. So it's about 2 on the corners, except for right here. So I'm gonna need to adjust it a bit. But it's 2 from the corners. And on the bottom, it doesn't look terrible, except for the fact that there's a little indents occasionally, just because I'm using slabs at the moment. But I'll fix that. And since it's lighter than the actual arch over here, I don't think it's gonna take too much away from the actual arch itself. We'll see, we'll see. You know what? Let's put a stair there. And if it's right here, how did I do it over here? Because I did actually enjoy the actual arch itself. I think I just got a little messy on the actual edges. Mainly on that one, I think. Maybe. So it was just a 1, 2, and then 3 at the top. And it went over right after this one. All right. That works. I will take it. You know what? No, that needs to be a full block. All right. So it goes over. Goes over. I need to put a block on top. As well as a block over there. You know what? Scaffolding is going to be much better in this regard. So that's 1, 2, and then 3 at top. Doesn't that one need to be out? No, that's a straight line, and then it has only 2 blocks of the 3 that goes out. All right. And then this one's going to be a slab. Yeah, I definitely made it too messy because back here we have straight pillars, and then over here it kind of feels like it curves a little bit and piles at the bottom, which isn't necessarily what I'm going for. Let's go ahead and make a few more bricks. And then over here, I mean, that doesn't look terrible. I think I need to put a stair over here. The very least. And I also need to put a stair on that edge so it kind of looks like it curves towards this one. Just slightly. There we go. And from the outside, besides this being all cobbled blackstone, let's go ahead and get 2 more bricks. Oh, really? Ow. You know what? I think that did legitimately improve it. I'm gonna need to do a similar thing to what I did on that side with the stair and the slab, but other than that, I do like it. And then I just need to fix what's going on the outside, which I believe is mainly just the sides here. Because as much as I legitimately want to have the walls, where did that wall go? Oh, it's a different type of wall. All right. I think I need to find a better place for the lanterns in that specific case. Even if it's right beside it instead of... Oh yeah, right beside it without having the stairs, actually a whole lot better. Alright. Because even just that actually legitimately cleans it up a bit. I do need to... Well, I didn't want to break that one. Just wanted to change it up a bit so you can actually see the stairs since it was blending into the background a bit too much. Honestly, not bad. That is a slab. I think I could get away with that not being a slab just due to the fact that this is also going to be supporting the second floor over here. Because it would be a little difficult if the top of the arch was not touching the second floor to actually support said second floor. And because we're using this material as both an archway and a support, we might also want to use it for additional supports around. So probably one over here and one over here. Or at least in the general area of those 2 places. All right. But before we do that, we actually need to finish placing the deep slate. I know we didn't finish making the actual pallet. I think for now I'm going to go with the pallet we have placed down for the time being. And then once we get to a point where we're feeling like it's too much of one note, we need something different, then we'll search for what we need. Because at the moment, I still can't think of what we would want. Something we could do, because I am going to sprinkle around some amethyst somewhere, mostly probably just the amethyst clusters. We could have that be the thing that breaks it up, but I'm not entirely certain. Is this really all the smooth basalt we have? I mean, I know there's an entire amethyst downstairs still, so I'm not too worried, but huh. We might have to dig up that amethyst. Alright. Let's go ahead and grab some more cobbled deep slate as well. And that should be good. Do I have another? I do. Lovely. I do indeed have another axe, which will help us a whole lot. And having those magma blocks in between what will be, well, two open doors will definitely help with trying to keep the heat inside and keep the cold outside, or at least create enough heat that you can't really tell. Because the hope is to give the illusion that the doors do close and they're just open because, well, we want to be able to walk through them. And at the moment, it's currently just an archway. I don't know what material we should have for the actual door itself. I feel like if we have... I feel like wood would be... It would have to be logs for the wood. Because having it be the planks, I feel like there'd be too many gaps. It would probably cause it to look like it would not keep in warmth. But it can't be metal either. Which is fine. I would rather not build with iron blocks or anything like that. Not unless it actually made sense to. There we go. You know what? I should really just be using the cobble deep slate instead of the slab, since I'm gonna have to go underneath and fix it all anyway. Unless it's on the very edges. If it's on the very edges, it doesn't matter as much. Because that's where they were going to go. But if we just put cobbled deep slate slabs on the edges and don't put anywhere the basalt or anything is, we're not going to end up, well, finding... It'll look out of place. Hi, Lily. That's 2. No, I'm just going to do that real quick. And this one will just be longer due to the fact that it has the archway. And a lot more support than the other side. It's 2 from the corner here. We're going to want 2 from the corner here as well. Meaning... we're going to want to do something along those lines. That looks super closed off. Unless, of course... Hold on. I want to make sure that we keep that as the center, so we're gonna need to do that anyways. Ow. Because at the moment it is not the center, at least on the sides here. Which does mean I might have to change up the archway a little bit. Not too much, though. I could probably get away with that. Honestly, it doesn't change it up all too much. And then we can still keep the original circle. It doesn't seem like it's clogging up the area too much from down here. And on the top, it doesn't seem too bad either. I think I still want to push it back at least by 2 blocks on all sides, though. Oh. Huh. I didn't think that through. If I want to keep it a circle even on top, I'm going to need to adjust stuff on the outside, which is fine. I can do that. But I need to figure out a way to do it that doesn't look like I just patched it up. I'm trying to think. Because of the fact that the archway is right underneath this, I feel like if we had something poking out of here that is part of the same building, it wouldn't look terrible, but it also wouldn't look the best. Especially since the ceiling is supposed to be caving down at the same area that that is poking out of. And since it's supposed to be secure, having windows that go into the area. All right, have fun playing some Jackbox games. Those are always fun. But we can't have a window because of the potential breakage of a seal, which would lead to the cold coming inside. And the whole reason that they're living underground is because it's too cold to really live outside. Or at least live outside easily. Because they do have, of course, the lodge that's right above the elevator. But because the way that the climate has changed, it's supposed to be a whole lot colder than when the ancient civilization. I don't know if it's ancient, but it's still a lot older than the civilization we're building right now. Which means we would only be adjusting the circle from. Either we only adjust the circle on one side, or we adjust the circle on all sides and figure out what to do on this side. We could just have it to where the cave just naturally kind of comes in a little bit more on this side, which I can see happening just due to the fact it's already going to start curving this way. However, I think there might be a more clever way of doing it. Let's go ahead and dig it out first before we actually figure out a solution. Because if I don't like it, I can just cover it back up. But if I do like it, then we'll figure it out from there. And since we're adjusting it, let's do... Wait, we're going to have to do it by 2 since we're going to go out by 2 that way as well. So... something along those lines. You know, let's put torches over here. Which means this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and take that. And it was by... So there's a 2, 1. If we're adjusting it by 2, it'd probably be easier if I push this back by 2 as well. I didn't think that through. Lovely. Alright. I'm still gonna have to do that again, but it's fine. So that's 2. It's gonna be those 2. There we go. And for now, let's go and block that off. And it's going to be adjusted by 2. And adjusted by 2. Come on. There we go. I might still want to have to keep that in. But it's fine. Honestly, the fact that the water is right above will make it easier for the little water section I want to do in this general area, so I guess that's a good thing. We adjusted it by 2. I know I still have it as a 2 indent on this side. Do I still want it to be a double 1? Oh, we can have a singular indent. So yeah, it's still a double 1. Lovely. And this part... I think this part will be under an actual roof rather than the dome that's going to be up here. A very flat dome, but still a dome. Mainly because of the water over here. I think we could probably afford to raise the roof by one. But other than that, I think having a roof up there would not be a terrible idea. And is it still a curve even if I go over here? Oh, yeah. Definitely. Lovely. So it goes by 1. And this is 1, 2. There we go. I mean, I did say I was going to raise it up by 1. It works. Plus, in doing this, since there's going to be a roof right over here, it might actually help a little bit with this specific area. All right, all right. Then again, we're only poking in, what, 7, 9 blocks? 9 blocks. We'll see. We're probably going to have another water situation over on that side, if I had to assume. And then we have the 1. And then the 2. Surprisingly, no, it must. Oh, there it is. Again, I just placed those. I mean, in all fairness, I knew I would have to do it anyway, but still, come on. There we go. So before I do that, I'm going to quickly fix this area just a little bit. It's a temporary fix, but it's a fix nonetheless. Honestly, having it be 3 tall isn't terrible. I do enjoy the height that the room being 4 tall would be. So I think I am going to legitimately adjust it so it's 1 taller, meaning that we're going to have to deal with the water while we're building the roof of this, which is fine. We're going to have to deal with that anyway. We're just going to have to deal with it more so now. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Those torches have died so many times now. Is there a hole I'm missing? I was not missing a hole. There was just a water source over there. All right. Bop. And bop. You know what? I'm getting a better feel for the actual center, though. I'll take it. Not too bad, not too bad. So that's 8. And now we can go the 2, the 1, the next 2, and the final 8. There we go. Besides raising it up by 1, that should be a whole lot better. Except for the fact that the center is inconsistent with size. Which I don't necessarily like. Okay, hold on. Ow, that hurt. Let's go and make some slabs. And let's put some smooth basalt as well, so it's not all just one thing. Because right here it's 3, so we're going to want 3 on each of these ends. Otherwise, it's not going to look right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What are the corners here? Seems to be 2. There's 4. There's only... Oh, there's only 2 here because it's... Let's go ahead and fix that. It's snowing. Is it just snowing? Or is it actually dark? I think it might just be snowing. It is just snowing. Alright. It's not the worst thing in the world. It just means it's gonna be a little dark and we're gonna have snow in our face. Alright. Not terrible. I am, however, gonna place some torches so it's not as dark. Okay, I think that fixed the center circle. How? I would like it if it wasn't snowing. But it'll be fine. I mean, it legitimately doesn't look too bad if you ignore the fact that that's happening. Hold on. Let's fix that. Any that are further back than the front need to actually be full blocks. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. I mean, on the top, it doesn't look terrible. On the underneath, it is a little odd seeing just random indents, but that could be attributed to age. Even if this place is supposed to be more well kept. Okay, the snow is throwing me off. Why won't you let me sleep away the snow? Alright. You know what? While it's snowing, let's go ahead and put away the cobblestone first and foremost, because that is taking up a lot of inventory space. And the singular piece of dirt. Just one. Only one piece of dirt. And let's go ahead and put the carpet away since we did that to find the original circle. Alright. I think what we can do... Oh, wait. No! Wait. I smelted glass. I would also like to grab some ice, actually. Oh, the Silk Touch is looking a little sad. I might need to drop by the Skelly Farm and get some more levels. I mean, I'm fairly certain we can still repair the pick without getting levels right now, but it wouldn't hurt. Alright. We could make it into tinted glass for the outside area, which wouldn't be terrible, especially if it's going to be bright outside. I don't know why it went outside, but you know what? That works. Right. No. Let's drop off the glass first, just on the off chance that something bad happens. And then we'll go pick up some ice. I know that normal ice that we'd be able to actually see through will melt if we have a light source right next to it. I think unless it's a soul lantern or a soul torch, I don't think that melts ice, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am, but fairly certain those two types of light sources, and maybe glow lichen, don't melt snow or ice. Which does mean if I want to have any ice on the inside, I'm going to have to use, I believe, blue ice or packed ice. I don't know if I have specific... Well, I probably do, in all fairness. I have ice spikes. Yeah, I do. Right? Yeah, blue ice. In all fairness, instead of taking this down, I gotta take that off this top layer. But instead of taking this down, I probably should take ice from the area that is going to have boats running through it. Because sure, you would not want to actually go through this area because of all the ice and everything. But if you had to, there would be a place to do so. It wouldn't be right by the happy gas. It would probably... Since the entrance is right there, we could probably have a pathway that's probably lit enough to basically be like, hey, head over here. And there'll be a whole lot of signs being like, hey, make sure you get inside before a blizzard hits and stuff like that. And then maybe we can have a dock that's probably worn down and has snow kind of sliding up the side. Basically to show that it's not in use often, but it is there if need be. And we can actually carve out a hole in the ice over here for any boats or anything that want to come through, even if it's dangerous. Because there's a potential that some places might not have had the ability to use nether portals. Or even if they did, maybe it's an older dock that was from the older civilization. Ooh, you know what? That would actually be a neat idea. Because over here is supposed to be the newer part of civilization that was built close by the older civilization that was rediscovered, but not quite. It wasn't built in the same time period. In fact, they wouldn't have talked at all, except from maybe a few people being like, okay, this place is too cold. I'm going to move away, tell stories, and then people move back and being like, oh, hey, it's way too cold here. We need to live underground. Or something along those lines I can see happening. Oh, I already have some ice. And if we do it that way, ooh, that means I get to work with a whole bunch of different woods. Because if wood is starting to rot and even freeze over, that means I get to use probably the pale oak bark. Like, maybe not just the bark block, but at least the log and have the outside, because it's such a light gray, I can see it kind of looking like it is either frost burnt or frosted over, and then also use glow lichen to give that same effect. Yeah. And then we can use this ice for the build we're doing currently. So I'll be productive with my resource gathering. I guess resource gathering is already. Alrighty then. Very productive. That was extremely fast. I don't think I've legitimately mined ice with an efficiency pick before. I'm gonna be honest. That is fantastic. I'm not gonna dig out the whole thing, but it gets the idea, and it also gets me ice. Ooh! So that happened. I don't know why I thought it was safe. There's a part of me that was thinking, oh, hey, mobs can't spawn on ice. I don't think there was a single part of me that thought, oh, hey, that might not entirely be true, and or there was something that it could spawn on. Either way, that was not great. It could have been worse, but because this is packed ice, I don't think it'll legitimately melt, so I think we'll be fine if we put some torches. Oh, my heart. Alright. I did. Because there was a creeper in the ice, and I was not expecting a creeper to be there. Should have, but it didn't. Alright. Gonna quickly set up my inventory again. There we go. Now we really need to go to the Skelly farm to get some more levels. Here I am just trying to get ice. Oh yeah, yeah. I understand. Uh, it was a creeper, a very rude creeper that wanted to just kind of sneak up and scare the everything out of me. Legitimately, did not expect there to be a creeper there. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I always thought that mobs couldn't spawn on ice, but that might have just been normal ice, because all of that was packed ice. I guess I learned that it can spawn on packed ice since there wasn't any blocks other than that, except for snow. They could probably spawn on snow as well. Well, at least I learned something. Better to learn now than never. Plus, it's not snowing anymore, which is lovely. Oh wait, I was actually gonna use that. And since oh hi kitty, and since it's packed, I'll be able to put it next to light sources. It'll be a nice little blue touch. We'll see if we actually want the blue touch. I think the having it behind the water in the water area might look relatively good in all fairness. So since the little water area is going to be in this little corner, I can have probably packed ice and blue ice back there just to help keep the water the same temperature as it is outside. So let's grab a little bit of blue ice as well. Probably not snow. Wait a minute. Do I have glow lichen in the barrel over here, or am I legitimately out of glow lichen? I might legitimately be out of glow lichen. I mean, it's fine. I have a whole lot of bone meal, but huh. I might have a little bit in. No, I emptied that chest. Didn't I? I believe I emptied the chest. In the basement of the Scully farm. If I didn't, well, I guess I'll figure it out, but I'm fairly certain I did. Yeah. Dude, creepers. I feel like it's either creepers or baby zombies that kill me the most. Personally. But then again, those are probably the things that I end up coming across more often than. Actually, no. If I were to tier the creatures that I think have killed me the most, it'd probably go baby zombies, skellies, and then creepers. Potentially. Maybe switch the skellies and baby zombies. I could probably loop zombies altogether, in all fairness. I did put it away. Alright. I mean, that's good. And then I can just grab some bones. There's not enough skellies to collect right now. You know what? don't have shears on me. Never mind. I was gonna just grab some glow lichen while I was here, since I know there's some, well, relatively everywhere. But no, I kind of need shears to be able to collect it. So I have to say, if we're actually taking into account how often I actually see creatures, certain creatures, I think the one that has killed me the most, just in comparison to how often I've seen it, it would definitely be the actual bosses. Okay, the actual bosses and zombies. Just due to the fact I have actually, sadly, come into many situations where it's like, oh hey, I'm fighting one zombie. Oh hey, two more zombies came up. Oh hey, there's a whole horde coming after me. Yes, I'm gonna be trapped in this corner. And there's a baby zombie that crawls into the singular hole that I'm hitting zombies through. And that's just over the course of playing Minecraft. I actually don't know how many times I've died in this world. I can check. Is it just gonna be deaths, or is it gonna be times died? Number of deaths. I've only died 4 times in this world. You know what? I'll count that as a win. Ah, that could have went so much worse. I am so glad it didn't. But all right, I would like to grab the shears before I try and get some glow lichen. I have glow lichen over here that I can just get one from. I need to create an actual farm for this. I would need a dispenser, right? Fairly certain. I do want to make an official one, though. And if I start dealing with redstone, I would want to find an actual place to put it. In all fairness, I'd probably put it next to wherever I put my moss farm, because I do want to make one of those. You know what? I don't have cobblestone on me. I'm going to grab a piece of cobblestone, block it in, and I'll just bone meal over there. You know what? There we go. You know what? That works. And shear. I don't think we're going to need too much, right? One more time. 28. You know what? 28's a good chunk. And then with the rest of this, we could just make bone blocks. I don't know what happened. I think I might need to go back in my settings again. But I swear my mouse sensitivity is heightened. I mean, I'm going to put bone meal in with the moss, even though it... it can easily go in here just due to the fact I have bone blocks in there. I don't think I have a legitimate chest for bone meal except upstairs. I should probably just put it upstairs since that's where all the rest of it is. Because if I start separating them, I'm going to run into more issues. Which means I legitimately didn't have to go to the Skelly farm. But you know what? I did. Even though I have a whole ton of bone meal right here. Alright. But that's a fair chunk of glow lichen. We wouldn't be able to use glow lichen on the inside of the water tank because I'm fairly certain. Well, actually, have I seen it underwater? I could run a little experiment. I do, in fact, have lots of buckets that I would like to have in my inventory and not put away on accident. I have a lot of buckets, and I could just place it in here if I really wanted to. Lovely. There's now just going to be a piece of glow lichen in there because I put away my shears. Alright. It can go underwater. Oh, why did my brain see that black cat as a giant spider? Entirely different things. Hi, kitty. You are... I'm glad you're a cat. Because if you were a spider, I would have been... Well, actually, now that I look at it, I shouldn't be too confused that there would be a spider in here. But still. Especially since there's... Oh, hi there. Especially since there's a spider somewhere upstairs. If we're gonna have a little water thing over in that area, it'd probably make sense if it was full-on glass blocks, but I'm gonna have it be glass panes. Yes. Yeah. Glass panes should be fine. Oh, we still haven't finished the floor entirely, though. Okay, we'll finish the floor. I need to grab some more smooth basalt. I need to grab some more black stone so we can make the supports. What? Did the Enderman walk on a magma block? I'm assuming that's what happened because it's not currently snowing. Alright. You do you, I guess. Let's put the glow lichen away. You know what? I'm going to put the buckets in there since they're not currently filled with anything, so it's just taking up space in my inventory. We're not using spruce logs at the moment. Nether bricks I'm going to put around any magma blocks we have, and since the only magma blocks we have so far are just in the entrance, it's just taking up space in our inventory. If I put the spruce logs anywhere, it can hold up the ceiling upstairs. Oh, actually, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to grab a little bit of mossy, since I am going to have a little bit of the amethyst crystals scattered around in there. Because this initial area is going to be built before they figure out, oh, hey, the crystals actually encourage the growth of plants. Or at least in this world. So let's go ahead and bring these down. As much as I would love to have my steak on my... Actually, I can have my steak on my hotbar and my torches in my inventory, since I don't have to worry too much about this place being unlit, just due to the fact that we can actually see the actual sky. And then once we have this place fully built, then we can figure out what we're going to do for the outside of this place that is poking through. Because the fact that it's kind of poking through into the main area isn't terrible. I do want to do something with that. But if it's not enough to do something with, then I'll just kind of shape the cave around it. It depends on how this works out. Worst comes to worst, it doesn't work out well, and we'll fix it when the time comes. I forgot to grab more smooth basalt. Dang it. I'm running so low on smooth basalt. So very low on smooth basalt. I mean, we have enough for this build, but I think I might legitimately want to tackle that amethyst today. It doesn't hurt. You know what? I'm just going to focus on the smooth basalt. That's probably going to end up being covered. But it's fine. You know what? Let's do that. This is the edge. Let's go ahead and put some basalt down. There we go. I also should have grabbed... Wait, no. It's fine, because we're not going to actually see the bottom. I can use a whole bunch of slabs, and it won't be too bad. Lovely. There we go. You know what? We'll do this, and then the rest can be cobbled. Except for right here. It'd probably help if I cleared out the snow, so I can truly see if the pattern we have fits. You know what? Fine, I'll go grab some more deep slate. And thankfully I have enough deep slate that I don't have to worry about actually having to gather it. Because if I did, well, at that point I might as well also look for diamonds while I'm at it. There we go. There we go. I mean, we have snowballs that we don't necessarily need, since we can't feed our happy guest any more snowballs without actually accidentally throwing more snowballs, but let's go ahead and, you know what, I'll just make these into actual blocks so they don't take up as much room. And then we'll put them away. Hi, kitty. Okay. Let's make those into more blocks. Lovely. You know what? I really need to go fishing. Because at the moment, I think the only thing that I've gotten fishing-wise is legitimately the one that I caught with you guys, which was the puffer fish. I haven't gone fishing since then yet. Wouldn't hurt to do that sometime. For many reasons, actually. Because we can catch some good things. Honestly, I don't hate this. I actually really like that. And we can still see the actual observation ceiling window. I guess I can also call it a skylight of sorts. But we can see it all the way from the bottom still, and while it does feel a lot smaller down here, because it still doesn't look terrible. Hi, kitty. Is it not turning dark? Am I too early on the draw? I mean, I am too early on the draw because it's not letting me sleep. But it did, in fact, look like it was starting to get darker. There we go. I wasn't too early. I was early enough that it wouldn't let me, but I was, in fact, correct. Lovely. Let's go ahead and grab the spruce real quick. And I'm actually going to want more slabs. Not a whole lot more, but a few. Okay, maybe more than that. We'll see. That's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted it on my hotbar. Okay. Because of where the door is placed, I think having one right here and one right here, support-wise, off of the wall, would probably be good. Because then we can do that. I'm going to need to put... Oh, I don't have another slab. You know what? I'll make a few just in case if I have more mistakes like that. And let's do bop. Bop. How did I manage to do it there but not there? All right. It's probably because it's the same design, but it's slightly askew. But in all fairness, this build is technically all askew since that doorway I decided to make diagonal. Which is fine. It adds little quirks. And then... Okay, not double. How about on each of these corners, on the top floor, we'll have the wooden supports that help hold this part up. Ow. And we could have those go all the way through the floor if we really wanted to. Probably wouldn't be the safest thing in the world, but... they would line up. I'll just place them down so we can see how much it impedes the area. It's not too terrible. I mean, it impedes it enough that it's questionable, but not enough to where I hate it. In fact, what I could potentially do is I could make little arches in between each of these areas to connect them all. We'll see. I need to grab some dirt. I need to lift the roof up by one more, just so we can get the true feel of what it would be size-wise. And then we'll go from there. And then bop bop. Give. Thank you. If we move it up by one, it's going to make this part a lot more difficult. Because I want to make sure that there's actually flowing water above here that can flow into... You know what? I think I had a good idea. Since we're moving it up by one, this is already going to be open. We can use that to our advantage. I'm going to go ahead and block this off as well. Actually, I'm going to need to block that one off a little bit more. I'm so glad that was lapis and not water. That would have caused issues. Bop, 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 bop. There we go. Can I have this piece of cobble? Thank you. Lovely. Alrighty then. Rude. That's not what I wanted to do. Just wanted to do that. There we go. And I'm got to fix torches again. Dang it. I was even planning ahead this time. There we go. I mean, despite having that happen, I did prevent it from happening sooner, so you know what? There's that. There we go. And with that raised up... Oh, I still missed the spot. Dang it. There we go. Now with it raised up. Yeah. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do is have this entire back wall be the little water section. Essentially, where we'll be able to both allow fish to go from this side of the little pond to this side of the little pond, since this area kind of broke the pond, as well as where they can test it. So this would be an open bit of the water, so they'd be able to mess with it, see if plants can grow in it, see if the fish are doing well, and all that jazz. While on these sides would have the full-on water. I don't think I want it there. Hold on. Are you meaning to use only emotes? You're allowed to. I'm fine with that. I'm just asking to see if somehow emote only was turned on. I know that's a thing on at least Twitch. I don't know if this is a thing on YouTube. All right. And if that is the case, I'm gonna have to... Wood right next to water is a bad idea. If we're going for logic, that is. Which I am wanting to kind of keep logic into the loop. Or at least enough so to where you can kind of see what is going on. You know what? I have Silk Touch. How that hurt. I have Silk Touch. I can easily just use the glass, see if it looks good. And I also want to grab some stone. I think I'm gonna make some mossy stone brick. I don't have to be reserved with that, which is lovely. It'll be worth it. Eek! How about let's not pull on cords? That would be not great. All right. Let's go ahead and have at least 4 upper stairs. Because I think I want to focus on the one that is going to be lower first. I'm going to need to be careful. That side will be easier. This side might be a little challenge, but it's fine. So let's do this real quick. So on the corners, actually that might legitimately be the only corner. There we go. I don't hate that. All right. But I do think having it all be just mossy is not the best. Even though I love mossy. And we don't want any on the sides because this is where the water's going to flow. This will be all full water sources in all of that. Meaning I could put some kelp to grow in there as well as the glow lichen. And then fish can just go bop all the way over there and then bop. I mean, it definitely would be a huge adjustment to where the fish would travel. But they still would be able to travel. That's probably a better way to do it. All right. I could put that right there. Make things a little bit easier on that side. And this side, well, this side's just going to be more difficult in general. All right. So if the water's going to come over here, then in between each of these, we can have the glass. And then the rest can just be the actual container. So let's grab some ice, some glass, and glow lichen. Have something along these lines. On the back here. And then, of course, have the glow lichen as well. If it's flowing water, will it break the glow lichen? It might. I might need to place a glow lichen later. Alright. On the bottom, I'll stick with the mossy cobble. If the wood is being touched by water, it's going to cause issues. Not legitimately, but it's going to cause issues if we were to think about it in the real world. You know what? For now, I'm going to block this off so I can actually work here without having to worry about water. There we go. That's going to be covered, isn't it? I mean, might as well do the same over here. And since it's down by 1, I'll know exactly where to dig. Lovely. There we go. Have something along those lines, and then have the corners over here. Let me grab actual stone brick. Hold up the glass on either end. Really? Hold on. I can't do it there. There we go. Now we can break this and be just fine. Okay, lovely. I'm gonna need it behind as well. I guess that would be a little visible. Not too much so, but it would still be a little visible. It's getting dark. I would like to sleep before I'm mobbed by, well, mobs. There we go. And then behind where this pillar is, we can have some more going all the way up. So that way we kind of have something to attach the glass to. Okay, technically we don't need it on this side, but just to keep it consistent, I'll do that. I also need to put the ice over here. There we go. I am honestly fine keeping that stone. Come on. There we go. Let me grab this bit of dirt. Let's go ahead and dig this up as well. Oh, I have over a stack. All right. That works. We'll, of course, need to fix the roof itself, but excluding that, so that's it with the glass. I don't hate it either way, personally. I feel like it being glass over there makes sense, but both ways work. I think I do want to fix that, though. And I need to make more glass panes, because that is 12. So each of those sides are 12 unless I somehow got them off. There was a reason I came down here besides just glass, which I still need to grab out of the barrel. So we have the glass. All right. I know I'm going to remember once I head up there. And it's going to be like, why didn't I just grab that? But here we are. I at least remembered half of the supplies I needed. Bucket. I need at least one bucket so I can fix the water situation we have going on there. Right. You know what? No, I'll grab both buckets since I need to mess with water anyways. So let's go ahead and head up here, grab some water, grab some more water, and I can make an infinite water source down here. There we go. Lovely. And now I can place the glass panes without having to worry about anything. There we go. Let's go ahead and place the spruce logs up here. Can I put some where the flowing water is? Not successfully. Alright, fine. You know what? That kind of makes sense. And I'm fine with that. It does mean I get to place the glow lichen in certain areas. I don't know where that one went, but alright. That's fine. Do I know where I stored my kelp? Probably, I really need to stop doing that. I think I stored it with the cactus. Because they're both green. I did. You know, I'll just grab all of it. Up we go. And then over here. There we go. Just a little bit of growth. A little bit of growth, and what I can actually do, and what I should have done, is have those instead be essentially like little planter areas. Since they're wanting to see if stuff can still grow and what things can adapt to the environment. So let's go ahead and go into the special dirt. So we can grab some coarse. I need more rooted. You know what? I do not need that much coarse dirt for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop off the mossy and the special. Do I have it? Oh, there's the special. I guess I'll put mossy stone above the actual stone. I mean, it works. Dang it. There we go. Lovely. I don't think we need the ice anymore. I used a lot of blue ice. I mean, sure, I didn't have a lot to begin with, but I still used a fair chunk. Do I have an ice chest, or have I still not made one? If I haven't, I can make one now, but I don't think I did. Alright. That's gonna be prismarine, so this is gonna be probably just normal prismarine, dark prismarine. Sea lanterns would go in with the light chests, so this can be glass. Glow lichen can go in here. And I'm gonna grab some azalea. 4 more rooted dirt should be enough. I might need the blackstone and basalt, though. So for now, I'll keep those out. For now. So let's sleep. We'll go upstairs, grab the bone meal, and get some more rooted dirt since I don't have a whole lot. I should probably throw some potatoes at those guys, just since I'm in the area. Here, have some potatoes. I think they threw all of those potatoes into the water. I mean, it's fine. I have a lot of potatoes. But it does mean that those probably won't produce any more villagers. I mean, they might. I think it was 13 per. Could be wrong. It's been a bit since I looked at that number. Why? What is with Enderman and just putting random grass blocks on top of the ice? I mean, it works for this situation because it means that I can just make those into rooted dirt and then get them off the ice, but still an odd thing. And it is a reoccurring thing. It's mostly on the ice. At least from what I've seen. Because in my last full-on survival world that was with other people, when we left it running, well, it was always running, but when someone would be on loading an area, which was mainly for the iron farm at the time, I had a ice river next to my base at that point as well. I keep seeming to find these ice biomes, but the Enderman would have a heyday. It would be like, oh, an ice river? No. It's a river of dirt now. All right. What? Why? Because I said so. All right. Plus, in doing this, we'll get a little bit more azalea. Sure, technically we won't need it, especially once we get an actual moss farm going. We'll get a whole lot of these. But for the moment, since I don't currently have a moss farm up and running, I'll take it. I think the only thing I'm running low on leaf-wise from the azaleas is just the actual flowers themselves. And I don't currently have the shears on me, so for now, it'll be fine. Oh, that is a whole lot of powdered snow. You know what? I still need to figure out where exactly I'm going to use that, because I do want to make a few little hidden areas and maybe even a few traps that'll probably just end up harming myself more than anything else. But it would be fun to set up a few things with the powdered snow since I don't play with it often. We'll see. Oh, I forgot to put away the bone meal. But we have the rooted dirt. I don't think we need coarse dirt because we're trying to test the water's ability to, well, keep things alive. So moss would probably be the better option. So we'll have moss, rooted dirt. Let's do Lily of the Valley, a blue orchid, and a rose. I will need to bone meal said rose since we only have one of these, but I have a lot of bone meal. Does not matter. That is 3. That should be good. I know the blue orchid can probably withstand a whole lot in the water, considering it is in the swamp, but it's still really pretty. It kind of looks like it would go in there, so. Bop, bop. There we go. Those are probably going to break while I'm building around them. But that's fine. You know what? Just because of that, I might not want to place the clusters just yet. Because I don't even have the actual walls built. I just have some of the things on the inside built. The ceiling is fine except for those. I don't have actual stone on me. Hold on. Let's grab some actual stone. Replace the lapis in there with said stone. Special stone blocks. Moss. Azalea. Bone meal is stored upstairs, so for now I'll just keep it on me. Oh, right. The roof is going to be different, though. What do I want the roof to look like? To figure out what we... Alright. To figure out what we want the roof to look like, we should probably do the walls. Which means... we should get the floor done. Or the first floor done. This is where the actual door is going to be. Oh, that's kind of perfect. All right. There we go. We'll lower this, place all of the oak slabs. I should have enough oak slabs. If I don't, I'll fix it because I think we have enough oak to be fine. And then hopefully we'll find something that I actually want to use for the walls of the majority of this place. Because having stone behind the water areas makes sense. Because it was originally part of the environment itself. And since they're wanting to not entirely change what's going on over there, since they're trying to keep tabs on it rather than change it, I can see them keeping the stone wall behind it. But everywhere else is a different story. In fact, I know I have the calcite bone block and the stripped pale oak. Do I seriously not have enough oak slabs? That's fine. I have enough oak. I don't have to worry about it, but I am a little surprised. I think I still want to lean away from the flat out stark, well, practically stark white blocks for a fair chunk of this. Because I still don't want it to be too close to the older civilization's build style. Because the older civilization build style, if you haven't seen me build the Skelly farm, it has copper, calcite, and oak, as well as spruce and dark oak for the more aged and rotted areas of the wood. Which, sure, this place wouldn't be rotted, so it'd be fine. But if we keep it the same palette, it could come across that I'm trying to make it so that those two areas are by the same civilization, which they aren't, because they're from different periods of time. We'll see. We'll see. I need to put away the copper real quick. You know what? Since I have a full stack of copper on me, what I might do is just put it in the smelter, since I do really like using copper. Especially since I might legitimately use copper and just put it in at the end, since I want to keep it as its unoxidized form. The main problem being is that we don't necessarily have bees, so it wouldn't be in its unoxidized form for that long. Not without me babysitting it. Which is fine. It's just something I'm gonna have to keep in mind. I'll put that there then. I'm gonna need to get either more coal or charcoal. Most likely charcoal, since it's easier to gain, except over there. And I am actually going to be digging more of that area out in general at some point, so I would be able to. But that's a project for another time. Alright. Let's see here. Let's drop the things off that are in our inventory real quick. And I need to look at our pallet once more. Just so I actually picked the right thing. Alright. Because I really do like the mix of really all of these blocks. Even if they're a bit more neutral. I think using tough, we'll have to use it sparingly in some points. Which is fine. But let's go ahead and grab some tough and see how it works. Is that... You know what? I'm just going to grab the tough bricks we already have first, since I'm not entirely certain on how much we're going to use. Again? Is it just snowing? It is not. It is nighttime. Alright, I'm glad I slept. I'm thinking... Okay, that... Since that's fully covered, I can just put that there. On these corners, we can have the brick. And then right at this section, we can have the chiseled brick. I don't have enough brick for all of it, do I? Oh, I actually did. I just don't have enough for the chiseled. And at that point, I'll just grab 4 normal tough, unless I already have some chiseled. I do not. I'm not too surprised. Chiseled. Let's do bop bop. Bop bop. I needed 2 more. It's not often that I make circular rooms. And And also use tuff for the corners of said circular rooms. Just that, it isn't too bad. And I don't hate the stone. I don't like the diorite, but I don't hate the stone. I still want to change it away from stone, though. Because we have a whole lot of gray. We have, of course, the oak, so light brown, almost yellow. We have greenish gray. We have gray. We have a darker gray. We have basically a black. And then a dark red, purplish red. Which is fine, but not a whole lot of color. If we bring in the copper, it's going to need to be waxed. You know what? Hold on. Let's go in here. This is all of the waxed that we have. Everything up here is unwaxed. What I might have to do... I'm going to take this... The one I have placed there is also waxed, but that's part of the palette. I'm going to grab those, grab this and this, and see if I can make maybe a trim of sorts. Ooh! You know what? It'd be easier to show it right over here because of the fact that it has a longer flat area. But what we could do I have magma in... No, I don't. Let's grab 2 magma blocks. You know what? No, I'll grab more than just 2 magma blocks. If I can find some. We are... Alright. I really need to go back to the bastion and just grab some magma. Let's do bop bop. And then over here we can do a similar thing, but it would only be 1. And then on either side, kind of boxing it in, we can have the chiseled. And since that's copper, it would help radiate the heat. And since it's so cold outside, and there's a window up there, so even if the steel around the window is really good, there would still most likely be heat being lost just due to that. So having it be copper around, even if it's extremely hot downstairs, would indeed help. I mean, I don't have all the copper for this, but if it's the trim all the way around, and since that wall is done, it's just the other walls that aren't, we'll be able to figure out what would be good for the wall. We can do all the wall except for the trim around where the magma and copper are. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. That will definitely work. Then again, I could place the copper now, and since the majority of this is already waxed, I'll be like, oh, hey, this is waxed. This isn't. And I know it's supposed to be waxed and fully copper instead of the oxidized. and I could just wax it in the future. That's probably a better idea, so I actually have the blocks placed. I'll place them last, just because I don't want to have it oxidize when we're seeing the final product of what it will look like once it's, well, waxed. Because it'll definitely change over time. All right. How do I want to do this? Still don't mind the gray. And the copper is helping out with a little bit of the color. And I definitely want it to be warmer colors. You know what I could do? What I could do, even though it'll be a little expensive, because we don't have a whole lot, is chop down a few mangrove trees and use the mangrove logs themselves so we don't have the same plank texture, and have that on only the 2 wide walls. And that will hopefully look good. And then we can have just stone, potentially. Oh, we have a visitor. All right. Ah! I was not fully upstairs. Hopefully my axe will be fine. I mean, if it's not, I can just stop before it breaks and go repair it. We'll see. There we go. Is there more random logs? No? We good? Lovely. This gonna hurt because this is actually relatively high. There we go. Lovely. 15 is definitely not going to be enough. Or at least I don't think it will be. For all I know, it might be, but I'm just going to go with my base assumption of it won't be, and I'll grab more. Especially since I would like to have all of the leaves despawn. I don't like that it's turning dark already. I mean, it's fine, but I don't like it. Okay. Gotta sleep, gotta sleep, gotta sleep. I don't want to have to deal with strays. Rather not have more than one death in this session. I say that and then I'm gonna get sneak attacked. I think I slept early enough that I should be fine, but you never know. Before I even attempt to chop down a spruce tree, I absolutely need to repair my axe, because it's not going to survive me chopping down a spruce tree. Or at least I don't think it will. And those are a little bit more tedious. Just because you have to spin. You know what? I need to come up here with wheat next time. So I can breed my cows. Well, I need to repair my axe before I do that as well. How much does it take to repair? Doesn't hurt to check. Especially since my axe is my primary weapon. I guess that's going to be a tilted propagule. There we go. Anvil's upstairs. I really need to just move the anvil. It'll be fine. At least for now. 14. Lovely. I'm not too surprised because I'm fairly certain I've already repaired my axe once, but dang it. Alright. If my axe gets super low, then... Yeah, if my axe gets super low, I'll just switch to the other one for now. And then later I'll AFK at the Skelly Farm to get some more levels. And for now, I'll just focus on this side since this side has all the copper. I thought I saw something move up there. Honestly, I don't hate that. But if I'm going to have it be logs, because of the fact that it is such a smooth texture, I'm going to need something with more texture in the center. The diorite does have the texture going for it, but I don't think it's the right fit. You know what? I could just test out cobblestone. I mean, I think I would prefer it if it was joined in with stone as well. But it's not terrible. So stone, cobble, and you know what? I'll grab some gravel. And andesite. I'll just use all of my normal cave blocks. There we go, and that... There we go. Lovely. That's not entirely what I wanted to do, but you know what? It works. Bop, and bop. It has the added texture, and it's still gray. So it doesn't lose the overall feel. Because the main door is angled, so I'm having the supports kind of match that. Does look a little odd. But I feel like it would be weirder if I didn't have it angled to match the door frame. Because the door frame is supporting the ceiling as well. Because that would mean this side wouldn't have as much support as that side did, if I did. You know what? If I make some mangrove stairs real quick. You know what? I'll make some more. And just put it on either side. You know what? If I combine that with slabs, I think that'll be honestly perfect. Do I have enough slabs for the entire area? I can only hope. I actually really like that. I do not have enough mangrove for this entire thing. But that's fine. I'll put the stairs and the slabs. Over here is going to be a bit trickier. We could have it to where it just appears like there is still a thing over there. But I'm not certain that would look good. But it also does look odd when it's like that because it's not centered. Why did I do this to myself? I didn't have to make the door angled, but I did. And now that I have it angled and I'm happy with how it's angled, it makes it kind of a permanent thing. All right, let's take care of this first. All right. Let's do that. Okay, I don't need the stone because we already have stone placed in this general area. Well, you don't have to. All right. Fine, I'll put some gravel. There we go. Oh, rude. What if I wanted that piece of gravel instead of just a piece of flint? I mean, it doesn't matter. I got flint anyways, but still. Let's do this. You know what? Let's have a piece of cobble over here as well. And I need to sleep. I need to sleep. I need to grab my axe from the chest since this one's getting a little too low for comfort. Since I can't repair it yet, I'll just have to deal with the fact that this is going to be technically a little slower. It's not too much slower. It's just enough so that it's like, it'll be fine. diorite, and then I can put away the andesite. I can also put away the blackstone, I'm almost positive. And the singular piece of flint. Alright. Off we go. Please say they grew. If they didn't, it'd be fine, but still. Can I reach that? I mean, I can reach this one. Etch me up. It's so tiny. Please, please. I would like to not bounce on the vine. There we go. Eek. And that goes how far? Only that far. Okay, not too bad. None to the sides. Is there any over here, or is this just a shorter one? It's just a shorter one. Lovely. There we go. Any more? Okay, those ones are done, and then we have the tiny one. Is there still propagule that has yet to grow? There is. I was gonna say, didn't I plant 4? I did. It's just deciding to not grow yet. In all fairness, it has a lot of very tall siblings right next to it. Despite this being a little bit slower than the efficiency 4, it's still not bad. Definitely better than no enchantments. I would like to grab all of this. There we go. It's so tiny. There's hardly any wood in that. He was just a baby. Alright. We got 27 more. Which honestly isn't too bad. I did get all of it right. I did. And then of course those are going to drop a whole lot more. I'm not too worried about getting more propagules, since they are very... I guess I should knock on all the wood, just in case if it decides to be mean. But they seem to be really lucrative when it comes to the propagules, so I'm not too concerned. I am so glad I didn't immediately punch the Enderman, because that would have ended poorly. But I was not expecting an Enderman right there. I don't need the stairs. I can put away the moss, and I can put away the roots. There we go. I think that side's just going to end up being a little wonky, just due to the fact of how I've built this place. Fine. It's my own fault. And we're far enough in the build that to actually fix that issue, I would have to practically reconstruct the entire, at least bottom floor. Okay, not the bottom floor itself, but mainly this archway. But ignoring how odd it is on the top, just looking at what we have, I'm actually really happy with this. Do need to figure out a way up, though. As much as I could put a ladder right here, I think I want to keep those since they... I think I was going to put buttons on these because that's hypothetically where we would be able to open the door because it would be a double door. Which means we wouldn't be able to put a ladder there. However, what we could do instead, what am I... Well, the bottom I'm going to put copper. You know what? This is 4. I'll grab 4 more mangrove and put some stripped mangrove there. Because if I put anything else, it's going to look out of place. And bop, 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 and bop. All right. I think what I'm going to do is focus on the decor of the bottom floor so I can use the furniture downstairs to situate where I can put a ladder that is going to be propped up on trapdoors, so I will be able to get to the top floor. Because I feel like stairs would be a little too much. I think it would take up too much space. Just a little bit. I'm gonna put away the diorite. Put away that. That's not gonna be enough trapdoors. I mean, I still have more spruce on me. I have more spruce in the chest, but you know what? That's not what I wanted to do. Are there blackstone buttons? I think there are. Actually, I can just go in here. Yes, there are. Did I make said buttons? Or did I just look at them and be like, oh, hey, buttons are possible, and then never make them? Never made them. All right. That works. Needs to be polished. Lovely. And then bop and bop. I mean, it does really blend in well. Which is nice. Because there's a heater over there, we're not going to want to put too much in that area that would cover it up. At least I don't think so. And let's go ahead and make a... How about sleep and then make a little desk area? I do like it when it's coming off of the walls, but I think it would look better if it was supporting itself. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I might want to put... How do you build a lectern? Do I have the recipe for a lectern? I think it's a bookshelf and 4 slabs, if I remember correctly. It's gonna be in redstone, isn't it? It is. Hey, I was right. I think I still have books. Yes, I do. Lovely. Bop, bop. There we go. And I'll put the lectern upstairs. So however we get up there. It'd probably be better if we didn't get up over there. You know what? Because I do have this random odd area, I could have the up right here. I do not have ladders. Let's fix that. I don't have ladders randomly somewhere else, right? If I were to put ladders anywhere, it would be in that chest or around here. Nope. All right. That should be enough. And I put away the... Oh, I didn't. Lovely. I put away the blackstone, but I did not put away the cobble. Perfect. Can I... I mean, it's kind of in the walkway, which isn't the best, but it could have been a whole lot worse. And it's great placement for downstairs. So what I might do... What I might do is use some form of trapdoor to block that in so it works a bit better. Oh, wait. That's open. That's open. And I think... Pale oak would be a good one. I know birch is a good one, but I don't use pale oak all that often. At least not for actual items. Plus, I think adding birch to the mix would be a little much. I think the only problem would be is that there'd be an open spot right here. I find that open spot being right here because it can look like the moss is overgrown over the side. But this, however, is going to be an issue. Hold on. Let me grab another thing of moss. I can replace the moss, the rooted dirt. You know what? Because we already have a fair chunk of this done, I can get away with this, potentially. It could have grown over the side enough so that this one isn't covered yet, but this one has been fully covered. Let me go ahead and get rid of the snow real quick. I know it's just going to come back if it decides to snow again when I don't have the roof done, but honestly, that's really cute. And I need to make these into snow blocks and put them away. All right. Pale oak. Put that away. Snow. Put this away as well. Rooted dirt. Where's the special dirt? There it is. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, I need to check this chest before I make anything else into shaped deep slate. Because I have a whole lot of shaped deep slate. Whether it's slabs or stairs, I have a lot. Having fun with that dirt block? I'm going to take that as a yes. All right. It is still a little empty over here, but I think that's mainly because I'm not entirely certain what to do decor-wise. I had an idea of what I wanted the build itself to look like, but the actual interior, I'm still trying to figure out. Oh, you know what? I need dark oak for around the spruce pillars. Because having it just go straight up and not have any branching off supports is looking a little off to me. I need a little more than that. That'll give me enough. Maybe. 12 should be enough. Let's do bop, bop, bop. I can't put it on that side. Because it's supposed to support the roof, and if there is no roof to support, then it'd make no sense to have it branch like all the others. Because those don't branch, it does look a little odd. But I think I can fix that by taking these and just doing that instead, right? Honestly, yeah. Lovely. I'm actually really happy with that. All right, all right. Let's grab... I clicked the right chest. Perfect. I am so glad I have an iron farm. Otherwise, that would have been devastating. I'll just make a whole ton of lanterns. There we go. There we go. And... Seriously? Really? I had 18 bars, right? Oh, right. It only takes 8. Not 9. Ah, that's fine. I made a fair chunk of lanterns. It doesn't matter. Bop, bop. And it's snowing again. Is it nighttime snowing? It's nighttime snowing. Alright. Means I can get rid of the snow relatively quickly. Unless it decides to keep snowing. There we go. Alright. If I want the lectern up here, it'd probably be a place where they're putting the information from all of these test results into. So let's put it on this side. So we're going to need a place to put the lectern, as well as I probably want a bookshelf and a few chiseled bookshelves. And maybe even a loom. Do I have... How much string do I have on hand? I don't think I have a lot. I actually have a fair chunk. That'll give 2 looms. I have a fair chunk of spare books, right? I mean, I do, but I'll just make more books instead since I have excess paper, and I want to make sure I actually have those books stocked for when I want to enchant something that isn't any of my actual tools. So let's head up here. I should have enough paper. I might as well harvest my sugarcane while I'm thinking about it. Well, I'm glad I'm harvesting my sugarcane because I'm gonna need it. Do I still have a crafting bench up here? I do. Lovely. I mean, I made too much paper, but you know what? We need paper for a lot of other things, including maps. I don't need any more bone meal as far as I'm aware. Let's go ahead and make chisel bookshelf. I can make 3 normal bookshelves. You know what? Nope, not oak, not oak, not oak. And then 2 string. Oh, is it just... Oh, my bad. That works. And essentially, these bookshelves will be where they would put all of their past data if their books were full for that section. And then they can always go back and be like, huh, what about 2 years ago? What was the water's temperature and all of that? Which I think will work perfectly. In fact, I think putting it here would honestly be best. We can even sink it into the wall. Yes, let's sink it into the wall. You know what, just in case. we're not going to talk about the fact that the back part of it's going to be open to the actual water. Let me swim out. There we go. And chiseled. There we go. And then this bottom part can be... I was going to say, do I not have stairs? I have stairs. There. A nice little bookshelf. I might also continue the pattern of having the tuff on those corners. I actually really like that look. Do I have enough tuff for that? We'll see. It's easy enough to find tuff, but not entirely certain. Let's go and put those away real quick. You know what? I have a fair chunk of tuff now that I look at it. Lovely. I'm gonna need... It's 4 tall. There's 3 sides I would have to cover. So that's 8 on each side. So 24. So I'm only gonna need 18 of the actual bricks. That's the wrong one. Of the actual bricks, I'm not using chiseled. I'm using the chiseled bricks. Or the chiseled... Oh, it's just chiseled tough. My bad. The chiseled tough bricks were what I made. Oh well. That's close. And then over here, we'll do the same. I guess there's going to be a hole there. And then one more. Lovely. Oh, you know what? I could still do it over there. I just need 5 more. 5 more, and only one of them needs to be the chiseled tough. And I'll save the chiseled tough brick that I have in my inventory for a different project. What project that's going to be, we'll find out in the future. There we go. Let me out. Yeah. I really like that. I think what I need to do as well is make more of those walls. Right? Right. Because I am going to put desks up there, but I think walls would probably work better in this specific case. And I'll have one be just normal blackstone. And then do bop, bop, and bop. This is definitely not going to be enough light to cover all of this. I'm going to need to put lanterns somewhere over there as well. I could probably get away with having a shelf of sorts in front of the windows here. So doing something like this. Honestly, yeah. The other way would probably work as well. You know what? That one I'm going to change the way the stairs are facing, and we'll see which one's better. Kind of torn. I think I like that one better just because of the fact that it is pushed back a little from the spruce support. Not entirely, but the top part. Not the top part. The bottom part is inset from the actual support, which I do really like. Pretty good. I think I'm making a fair chunk of progress. Uh, we have the supports. We have a fairly good grasp on the color palette now, unlike the last time we were working on this. Because now we have the waxed copper, mangrove, and tuff, and it's actually a really nice mix with the stone, so we're not having to change it up all that much. We're of course gonna have to fix the upper part, but yeah, it's not going too bad. I definitely need to figure out what I'm gonna do for the actual ceiling, because up here, where this giant hole is, that's gonna be glass. And then of course we're gonna have the supports of the glass. I don't know what to call it right now. Basically crossing over so it doesn't look like it's just gonna collapse in on itself. But other than that, I'm at a loss. That's fair. It's always nice to check in and everything. And honestly, I don't hate the fact that these are kind of random in the fact that they're set in. It adds a little bit of character to it. I mean, sure, this place is supposed to be well maintained, so having things be degraded is a little odd, but I feel like that's probably just they grabbed like slabs of this material that is really strong and dense, and they put it up there and it supported it because this is going to be set. This building is supposed to be built before they get too far in a lot of their materials. So, um, as much as I want to, probably not, because I have an idea of what to do next, but I'm not entirely certain. So I do kind of want to sleep on a few things, mainly with the top part. I'm happy with what we did so far, but the top part is fuzzy to me when I'm thinking about it. Are you able to break lecterns without silk touch? I think you are. I don't want to just place it down without any thought to it. Yeah, that's what I had to do with the actual archway here, because I didn't change a whole lot with the archway, but with how I had it before, where I had, I think, 2 blocks and a stair on the edge over here, it made it too bulky, and it made it feel less thought through in certain ways. Kind of similar to how it's looking right now, just due to the fact that it's peeking out over there. And since it's touching the archway, I'm gonna have to figure out how to actually blend it in or make it look like it's supposed to be there. Which is fine. I can figure out a way to do that. I'm just gonna need to figure out a way to do that. But honestly, we made a whole lot of progress considering. Legitimately. you you asked that question at about the time that I was thinking, I'm starting to slow down a bit in my thought process. So I need to think on a few things. So I think I'm going to leave it here for now. If you guys have any thoughts or anything on whether we should bring the palette up, similar to what we did with the tuff, because I am going to keep the tuff. I like that. Or anything like that, go ahead and be like, hey, you should do this, or something along those lines. And I'll take it into consideration, because right now, with the thought process that I have for this ceiling window, with the way that I would have it, it would look unsupported due to how I have the bottom here built. So I need to think about this. But you know what? We got a lot of progress done. We actually got a pallet done. We have the walls. We have the little water area. And I'm honestly really happy with that. I mean, yeah, our axe is looking a little worse for wear. But you know what? That's fine. We're creating ideas, and slowly but surely, we're getting this all built. So I think that's going to be all from me today. So thank you all so much for watching, and thank you so much for joining. If you like the live stream, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more content from me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get notified for any future live streams or videos, go ahead and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you beautiful people next time. Bye!